George, I love switching.
I did too.
I like to handle the switching.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a little easier.
Oh yeah, not a lot of running with that.
Yeah, if my legs are tired, I can get on stool, you know, and just kind of make sure the air conditioner's working.
Yeah. You need to come on over and see some of the changes he's made.
Oh,
he's kind of refined it a little bit.
Yeah.
The mostly what you did with the visuals was put up the separators, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's got what appears to be blue sky between the front and the back of a lot of the layout now, so it's separated.
That's neat. I like to see it.
I started putting up my ridge I was telling you about there.
Like the mountain?
Yeah, it's a hill type thing, and I got the foam blocks, and then I sanded them, and then I put some joint compound on them.
You ready to set up now?
And yeah. Hey, I'm over here visiting with some railroad.
We had a string of empty banana cars to set out of Rutherford. And we left Reeves, and Mr. Leo Archie, engineer, said, go in there and call Mr. Scrooge and tell him this engine's running hot. We need to reduce tonnage. And George told me, Ben, just run them as far as she'll go. I said, all right, I'm gonna tell him. We got to Rutherford. We didn't even set out. That engine was red hot. Archie said, go in there and tell Mr. Googe we're as far as we can go. And he had to get us another diesel down there. I think number 30 was coming out of there and brought us a diesel. But it was a powerful engine.
Where's this little depot here?
Oh, that's the Dyer.
Okay.
And that on the other side there is Columbus, Kentucky.
Yeah, this funny looking from here.
Yeah. Mother and Daddy lived upstairs over there.
Oh yeah. It says South Columbus on here. And this is what, Rutherford here?
That's Rutherford. After Dad retired and they closed that engine. That's his last train order over there, George. To the left.
Oh, okay. Okay, all right.
When I first went to work in the 40s, I remember we had a passenger coach on the rear end. And then we'd have coal, feed, everything, set out.
Yeah.
And the flagman, when he got to Island, would have to build a fire, bring 2 or 3 buckets of coal and put in the coal bin, and build a fire in the stove in the passenger coach.
Oh, okay.
And out here on Airways, that crossing there.
Yeah.
Well, that was where the passengers got on and off. And you'd be surprised how many people rode that train.
Didn't a bunch of them ride to Dyersburg?
Yeah, and we'd stop at Bales, Tiger, Alamo.
Yeah.
And do switching, and they set up.
People tell me that a lot of people used it to go get their whiskey in Dyersburg because that's one of the few places that had liquor stores.
And
Jackson, Madison County was dry.
Yeah.
They called it a B&NW. It's Birmingham and Northwestern, but the nickname was Beer and No Whiskey.
Yeah. They had there's another one out of run from Cairo to, I don't know, but the name of the place was Cache. It's between Cairo and town.
Okay.
And there was a big depot there, and I forget the name of the railroad we crossed there. But they run a little passenger train on there. called it Whiskey Dick. And people would ride it to Cairo or wherever, somewhere I guess in Kentucky, but to get the whiskey.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I know they had some in Fulton, either Fulton or South Fulton. I'm not sure which.
Now, a lot of these railroad men, when I went to work, they'd get a whole suitcase full of whiskey and take it down to Tupelo with them. Marcus Phillips and a lot of those fellas, and sell it. Sell it to drummers, you know, rode the trains and all.
Yeah.
Shoot, they made good money.
Oh my goodness.
What's the story behind that bed there? You said that was
Well, my great granddaddy come home from the Civil War. He died on that bed. I guess you call it a 3/4. Everything has to be made special for it. I reckon a mattress won't fit on it.
It's not a standard size. It was custom made.
Yeah. And that my grandmother's old quilt box. They've taken a lot of, I had a Georgia spool that would come out of Depot, or call it a spool. They come out of the store.
Okay.
But I've given
Who's it?
children different ones and stuff.
Yeah.
Molly Stats will come up here several times. I know he's doing stuff.
Now these are all you, right?
I just carried it out.
Yeah, he carried a map off, and I wouldn't have taken anything for him.
Uh-huh.
I know he got that map.
Yeah.
He'd come out of the office and look. There's a map of the old gym and all. He's in a nursing home, man.
That's what I heard. Yeah. Maybe give you a map back.
He prayed for me ever since he got.
Uh-huh.
I don't guess you ever saw his house, you know, across the road. Didn't need to walk through.
Really?
Stuff that he's carried, put in there.
Uh-huh.
Junk off of the railroad.
Yeah. Yeah.
That every room did. He just got a trailer where you walk through.
Mm-hmm.
He was a pack rat.
Pack rat. He was kind of odd. I don't know. He had a house in Fulton. His wife stayed there all the time. He stayed down here.
Yeah, I might not have to record that. I might sue you.
Oh. Yeah. I was messing with the stabilizer setting on here, and I had it set to extra stabilization, and all it does is it zooms in. So here I am, like, not even with half of the visual range that it should have. I'm like getting everything now. I flipped the power feeder off to it.
Oh, okay. That's good.
I figured just in case it was
Yeah, you
being left on its head.
Probably a good idea to leave those when you're not up here. Just turn those both off.
I think he does. He just turned them on before we got here, and they stayed on a little too long.
Yeah, I turn them off.
Yeah. Could be a fire hazard there.
But I don't know if you heard me. There was a problem with these things, the vibration from the engine causing the bridge to separate from the track there.
Oh. Okay.
So I told him, I said, let me just bring my soldering iron over. I'll fix that.
Mm-hmm.
So she runs great now.
Yeah.
He really, you really like just the fact that the steel girders, I think is what he liked. The iron truss bridge there.
Mm-hmm.
They're Atlas Code 100s. And then I got those trees from Hobby Lobby when they were selling stuff real cheap. Brought them over, and glued them in for him. So
every once in a while, I put that 40% off coupon in, and I'll just swing by on the way home.
Paul Kills a senior. That's his dad, the old man.
Okay.
I worked with him.
And there's a Kilser has worked out at the museum sometimes. He's still there.
He does?
I don't know if he still works there.
I don't know.
Related to these folks.
where'd you get those from?
That was one of Driver's calendars, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, that's one of Jim Driver's calendars.
Did you verify he did pass?
Oh, yeah. Well,
Oh, yeah.
I went to the visitation, so
Oh,
I went
okay.
to funeral.
I'm pretty good verification.
Yeah. I didn't hear anything else. So.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, old Jim, he really amazed me. Every time he'd come to see me, he'd say, let's see, you was born in 1925, you went to work on the railroad in 1943. How he could remember all that, I don't know. He'd go through that whole thing every time.
Now, where'd these boxcars come from? I don't think I've seen those models before. The red, oxide red cars.
Those were some that he had in a drawer that I put together for him.
Okay. I bet that was a society kit or something from a long time back.
These had those racks inside.
Mm-hmm.
And we used them at Union City where they made car seats.
Uh-huh.
And they'd load those seats, a section in here, and then they'd put those braces all the way across on another section.
Yeah.
So tell him what you did one time.
They were signed. Paul Kilser and Jack Green was firing for him, and he never was an engineer, Jack wasn't. But Paul was lazy, and he was on the other fireman seat letting Green run. And I wanted to drop some of these cars in there. And we made a drop at the north end of that place at Union City. And Green stopped before following the track. And Herman Aller was standing at the switch. And I said, hey, throw it switch back and let them come in on the engine because they're going to get a side swipe. They're going to hit.
Yeah.
And they hit that engine so hard. I wish you could have seen that engine. When I come up there to see if anybody was hurt, the water keg was in the floor. Paul was laying in the floor in his glasses. He don't want to hit. And Jack Green was the funniest looking thing. Blood was running out of his nose. I don't know what he hit. But luckily, wasn't anybody hurt too bad. But that car hit so bad, I went on and lined it up in the north tonnage. And it come back in about 2 weeks. And when I unloaded that thing, you ought to have seen those seats. They were just in wad.
What, they rejected the shipment?
Of course.
Yeah.
You never told them who was.
No,
everybody kept their mouths shut.
No, I didn't tell. But anyway, I'm satisfied the railroad had to pay for it.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Did you ever run the banana trains, or was that before your time?
I saw them, but they quit sometime in the mid '60s, I guess, was the
Because the trucks got.
last hurrah there. Yeah.
You're okay.
Yeah.
We had solid banana trains out of Mobile.
Uh-huh.
We'd always have about 30 or 35 cars for Reeves.
Uh-huh.
And they would ice our cars here. Our Ice and Coal Company had a stage icing at Isla.
Yeah.
And they'd ice our banana cars that was going through to St. Louis. But they didn't ice the cars that was going to set out to the IC. And you know, Fulton was supposed to be the banana capital of the world, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, they'd have a steam engine sitting there in a caboose.
Ready to go.
Oh man, trying to beat us to St. Louis. They had some big engines too. They fly, but they had to ice them at Fulton, and they had every employee available. When they come in there with a train, I've been over there to see them. Man, they had people opening those bunkers, and they sliding those big blocks of ice, and about 30 minutes, we'd have that thing iced. Big gone. You remember 31, don't you, George? That was our special train. He ran on the schedule. We had meat. Union City, all these delivery trucks would back up to the platform there, and that's the first thing we did in the morning. 31 would set out that meat, and we'd back it into the platform. They loaded in the truck and started delivering.
To the grocery stores and stuff like that?
Yep.
Who owned the trucks? Was that just private companies or?
some neat company, I don't know.
Okay.
Too hard for